Welcome to the Metaverse Update. I'm BelsheBits, where I try to break down some of the complexities that are happening throughout the Metaverse. I've been trying to get out of my own personal silo and start playing with a lot of the different games that are out there and kind of see what's out there, what kind of teams are building them, what's the community like, as well as if I think that the games are fun. I've also been having my kids play the games to kind of get a outsider's point of view that doesn't know really anything about crypto or Web3 gaming. And so I want to get their real take of, do you enjoy this game? Would you play it more? Things like that. So I'm going to give you some of the highlights in this video. So let's get to it. All right, we'll start off with Wilder World and the updates that they had to super early access. So they removed the racing game from the game modes you'll be able to play to just focus on Rebellion. This is in preparation to Eris and the Wills team launching the new physics engine and all the other updates that are coming to the Wills racing game. That will be launched later on this year. In addition to that, there were some improvements made to the game. I'm just going to kind of go over them right here. New additions of weapons were added. So there's a new LMG and RPG weapon added, which are a lot of fun. And some of the art design on these are right on point. They're really putting in that Wilder feel. In addition, new sights and weapon build-outs were given to whenever you respawn or when you get new weapons from the cache. So when you get that, sometimes there's a new scope or sight, but some of those sights I'm really excited to be able to get in the new packs when they release packs, to be able to build the different loadouts that I want and be able to have the weapons that I feel most comfortable with. The things that I really like is that every single type of scope barrel is able to be interchangeable amongst all the different type of weapons. So it's not just weapon specific. In addition to that, the droid and the beginning maps had some major updates to them. They are really starting to look amazing. The droid map is a lot more optimized and people are able to play on that map a lot more smoothly. And so they're making some updates to the beginning to make sure that it's a lot more optimal and people don't have the FPS frame rate drops. In addition to those updates, we also have crosshairs that have been updated. They've also integrated Zero into the game, and so this integration is just going to continue to compound. Right now you're able to connect the two, so if you haven't, make sure you go to your Zero app and go to your profile where you then can go linking, I think it's called like linking apps or something like that. And you're able to go in and then you'll see on there that you can link X and Epic Games. So make sure you go and do that. In addition to the Zero integration, grenades have now been increased to provide more damage. Individuals were throwing grenades and they were landing right at people's feet and it still wasn't taking them out. And so they've increased the damage. So a well-placed grenade will do all the damage in order to eliminate a player. And on the opposite side of that, they have shortened the range on the shotgun because the shotgun was a little bit overpowered. So now they've balanced that out. So depending on the distance and stuff, the damage kind of fluctuates. Before, even at a little bit longer of distances, the spray seemed to just go straight to the center and you were able to take someone out even from longer distances. And then along with that, they've added a melee thrust lunge to give this extra effect. We've got a community member named Super that was just playing Superman all the time, really doing some incredible damage with this thrust lunge melee attack. And it was actually quite a spectacle to watch him as he's eliminating players. It's going to be a really fun feature for individuals to play along with. And then along with this, they fixed known bug issues and they've updated some of the things that they are working on so that the community was well informed on the progress of Rebellion and that they weren't being forgotten, that their suggestions and feedback were getting addressed. So the team has mentioned that the next 2 weeks are going to be absolutely crazy. I think the NDAs are going to be dropped. I think we're going to see some more cohesive growth when it comes to mobile. I think our experience is going to expand a little bit more to our phone than just desktop. And then as far as what other crazy things are coming, Neo says that the team has told him that he cannot share any information. And so he's been really good to not fall into dropping that Walfa that everyone really desires to hear. This last week, Star Atlas opened up their shooter game to the public where a lot of people were able to go into their Discord and get an access code, download on Epic Games, and go in and start playing that shooter game. I myself wanted to connect with that community a lot more. I've been really impressed with a lot of the community members and the team. And I wanted to make sure I got out of my silo and started playing the game, started building connections, and just really starting to have a really personal understanding of what they're doing over there instead of just like the keyboard warrior stuff. You've really got to get in and really learn these different types of games, what they have going on, what they're improving on, what the community's like. And for me, that's really important because it's not just about Wilder World or Zero being a zero-sum game where only they're going to win out when it comes to metaverse projects that are being built. I think Star Atlas really does have something here. I've had a really good time. I mean, I've played hours upon hours of their shooter game. I've also gone in and tried out their racing game, and I enjoyed it so much after the first day of playing that I actually went out and got like 10 different crew members and got some different ships and different things. I wanted to play around. I wanted to kind of see their different systems and applications and what the process is like and what my experience was going through. And to be honest, with someone who didn't know anything and didn't look into any of it, it was kind of smooth. It kind of was easy to kind of go through. I did need some direction pointing of where to go pick up crew members. I watched a couple videos out there that kind of showed where you could go get crew members and what it took to get crew packs. And so I was able to connect my Phantom wallet and be able to use some Solana to buy some Atlas to then purchase different packs. So I was really pleased to see kind of how smooth that kind of went. And because of that, I've spent more time with the community. I've spent more time playing the game. This past weekend, they just had a tournament for $5,000 that was really successful. A lot of people tuned in. Some of the finale competitions were really exciting and epic. For those that turned in, they were really satisfied. There was some fun meta with their Punab character where there's like small little squirrel rats that could run around. They were just doing massive amount of melee damage. They had a really small hitbox, and so it was really hard to kind of, basically play against them. So a lot of people were just switching and getting Punab characters to be able to level up and take advantage of the situation until the team released an update to those characters. So now the hitbox is bigger. The melee attacks aren't as heavy. They've been balanced out. And so a lot more people switched over to other kind of characters. And so now you see more of a flow of different types of characters being played, which is really nice to see. Did I join in on the Punab? Yes, I did. I went out and I got me one and I started utilizing it, and it was a lot of fun. Even though a lot of people learned how to play defensively against them with their grenades as well as some of the movement. People really started to learn how to play against them even though they were overpowered. But it was a lot of fun to be able to get in. I really like their arena map. I really like some of the game modes. Some of the sound effects are really satisfying when you're shooting. The visuals of, you hitting a target and the sound effects of like shields being destroyed and them dying as well as headshots. A lot of that kind of audible and visual effects really were satisfying when I play, especially for a beginner myself where I'm dying a lot. It's nice to have other types of things that reward you, where you feel like you're making progress or you tried, you almost did it. I have had some issues. There's on one map some of the lighting issues. They also have like some jittery problems when you're loading in and you're going to go and fight, kind of just shakes, and then you have to hit your boosters and then you get like knocked out of it. So it's kind of really strange, but these are all things that are all part of it. I'm here for the development of games. I've been doing it with Wilder World. So being in it, like it wasn't, I didn't get triggered by any of it unless I was in competition. Like sometimes when I'm in competition and I'm fighting, and there's a problem that I've had where I load in and my weapon doesn't even fire. I can't even fire it. I can't do anything. I make it disappear and come back and it still won't fire. It's not until I die and get a new weapon that then I can go in and it'll actually trigger and I can fire it. That is really hard because it's just like a free death for everybody or whoever, go in and start attacking again. And then I personally have been having issues with the booster. I feel like I hit the space bar and I hit the booster and I do things and I'm just not able, like a collision thing, like I can't go forward all the way and it deletes it before I even gets into the action. And so that's been kind of frustrating because, when you're trying to get out and you like go to do something that you think is going to happen and it doesn't happen, it's just kind of an agitation, right? But again, like I'm here for the development of everything. I've even talked to one of the developers a little bit, shared my feedback, shared with them what I really liked, what I I don't want to say I get frustrated with, but that I notice are hindering like the experience. And they have been incredibly receptive, really open. They really want to do a good job. And so it's really nice to just be able to talk to a team and a community that understand it's one in development, that they've been open arms. There's been a specific moderator that was really kind to me and has been helping me through, encouraging me to get better and what I can do, laughing. And, it's just been like a good interaction and good experience over at the Star Atlas team and community. So props to Star Atlas and the incredible experience that I've had. I've had a really fun time playing the game. Another project that I had another positive experience with the community members and the team was Cornucopias. I was invited to be able to use one of their access passes to go in and check out the game. There were about 3 or 4 different community members that literally showed me around the entire game. They helped encourage me to be able to build my character. They also showed me how to pick up equipment and where on the map things were at. We played kind of a soccer game. I think it's called like rollerball or something like that. And then I went and was able to enjoy their racing experience. They also took me out into the open world. We went into caves. We went around and did land scanning. Phase 2 of their land drop is coming in, where you're able to claim specific areas of land for the different levels of land that they have. I don't have the full details. I wouldn't be able to explain it because I'm not well versed in all of the mechanics, but I really enjoyed their land scanner like ability. It's like this little object on your wrist, and you're able to go and scan, and then you're able to like read what kind of land plot it is. And then they were kind of telling me why specific land plots are going to be more desirable than others. And it was just a really good experience to go around and hear their passion and hear from them the different things that are coming through Cornucopias. Personally, I don't think that the game is playable in its current state. I know there's a lot of things coming through like apartments and crafting. They're also improving on their shooting mechanics because they're going to have things where like a rift is going to open up and different types of beasts are going to come out that you're able to go out and battle against individually as well as collectively with a group. And so those kind of aspects will really help create like a game loop where people are able to go in, enjoy the open world, but also have different type of like community games to be able to play. I know they're improving the racing game and that rollerball game to be able to create different types of experiences for people. Just right now, it feels really empty. It's a really big map. I think they said that Cornucopias is going to be like 25 times bigger than GTA, which, to be honest, it being 25 times bigger doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be that much better of an experience. And I'm speaking for all metaverses in total. Size doesn't really matter unless you have the amount of people where everything feels lively and fun, right? When things feel a little empty and quiet, it's really just visual, right? And I'm saying this in the presence, like, again, I understand and I'm here for game development. So I'm not turned off. I'm not against what Cornucopias is doing. There's a lot of the economy and experience that I'm not well versed in. They do a Copy Cafe like podcasts on a regular basis that I did watch 1.5 episodes of that I really enjoy. I think that's a great value add to a community where the founders come in, they talk about the experiences, they talk about the work the team's doing, and really staying connected. They have a very passionate community. They have a passionate guilds. They have passionate efforts being put in. And so this is definitely a game that's going to continue to be developed. I don't think they've had as large of a budget as some of these other games may have had. And so they're doing a lot more with less, which is really admirable of the efforts that they're making. I personally think that there needs to be a little bit more soul and warmth to the world. Again, it might be because there wasn't a lot of people running around. There wasn't like a lot of things to do. My experience with the community was amazing. I'd give it a 10 out of 10 of that experience of running around with a community member. If I had gone in by myself though, I probably would have quit experiencing and looking. I probably wouldn't have found the racing game. I probably wouldn't have found the rollerball game, I don't even think I would have been able to play it. These types of things are just really important, that right now it's best that you go into the community, you ask the community to kind of give you a tour and be like, hey, I'm interested in kind of seeing what you have, and then going and exploring the world. If you like a little bit more of a laid back, kind of chill vibe, Cornucopias is definitely the game for you, because that is definitely the vibe that they were giving off to me. And I want to preface that the team reached out to me and they said, hey, I'd love to be able to talk with you. I'd love to be able to get your feedback. I'd love to share with you the different things we're working on so you have a better understanding. And so I really, really appreciate the team really taking pride in the work that they've put in, pride in the work that they're going to be releasing, and being open to feedback and being open to hearing from outside individuals to get the game to a place that individuals kind of flock to and that they really want to play. I give kudos to the community for being a really strong community. I give kudos to the team for being open and understanding and communicating where they're at in the game development. And it seems like the community understands that and they're there for it. For myself, I'm really on a holding pattern. I'm probably just going to join in on different updates. That way, when I do go in for the next time, the experience is just enhanced from where I already knew, and I can appreciate where it was to where it is now. I'm really looking forward to the development of this project, mostly because of how receptive the team was and how amazing the community was. Those are two really important aspects. Now, the team needs to deliver on a game that will really invite people in, and the community needs to understand that it needs to be something that invites and encourages people to want to come and play outside of personal investment. If you're holding Copy or in-game assets, it needs to be something that individuals want to come and play, and then everything else kind of comes through that experience. And I think the team is starting to build out those different aspects, those different tools, those different experiences. And so as those start to unfold, I'll start to get into it a little bit more and kind of check out what they have going on so I can give further updates on these Metaverse updates. The next game I played was Illuvium, a game that I've been wanting to get into for some time. Community member Scoriox has been really awesome to me. He's been really kind. And so I've always really appreciated that from him. I've watched over some of his content and learned a little different things like that. But when you're not in it, you just kind of lose it. He sent me over an individual's video that I ended up watching in order to kind of get an update on how to go in and play the battle arena. So after I did that, I went in and I started playing the game, and I actually had a really good time. I enjoyed the experience that I had as far as picking out the different type of Illuviums that you needed to play, being able to learn how to put it in on the map, as well as like which Illuviums to choose and which ones that if combined will make you stronger, as well as the kind of different combinations that you can do. To be honest, there is so much there that I did not do very well at all. I came in last place every single time I played. But to be honest, I knew that if I had a knowledge of what each Illuvium did, and if they were a tank or melee or range or earth or wind or fire and all the different aspects, there's just so much that kind of is going on that if I knew that and I knew how to combine and kind of had strategy, I would have had a much more enjoyable time past the enjoyable time I had. I really did like learning how to play. It was different than any of the other games that I've played, and I really enjoyed going into the arena and learning. I played, I think, 3 or 4 different games. I didn't do so great, but I was always kind of challenging myself to like understand visually which each Illuvium was and what they do. I tried to choose different ones to kind of see what they each did. I tried to look at the different team that the other players were playing and just kind of start to learn more and more about it. And so I think the more I play, the more I'm going to enjoy it. And I'll be able to go and watch other videos and better understand, because even in the beginner guides, there was so much left out because there's a certain amount of time allotted to you to be able to choose. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, I need a ranger. I've got 2. And so I was going back and forth of trying to figure out, and then the time was going out and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to like make a decision. So there's a lot going on. that I just need to learn. So it was more of a me problem than necessarily a game problem. There's just a lot of information there that I need to learn. And so I'm going to continue to learn and understand what Illuvium is offering. But according to the community, they are really enjoying this new battle arena experience. A lot of people have been coming back to Illuvium, and the price kind of shows it. So in my opinion, based on all of this, the team is doing an incredible job of improving and taking the feedback from the community and doing the things that they really need to do. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper in. I'm going to watch more of Scoriax's videos and become more familiar with the community, become more familiar with the team. So this was kind of like my first step into the Metaverse platform, is just kind of familiarize myself, kind of touch the buttons, move things around, kind of see what's there. I also went into the MMO Lite, I think is what they're calling it, their open world, and went through the tutorial, chose a character, ended up going out into the world and trying to capture some Illuviums. There's some things that really need to improve there. There's definitely a art style that they have chosen, and they have done an incredible job with that. It's a little Avatar-esque, along with like different creatures they're able to capture. So I would say a little Avatar Pokemon kind of feel between the two. It's an older project. It was extremely popular for the last 4 years. I know they went through some hardship. There were some things that went down in the community and within the project. You know, I don't know the details of it, so I'm not going to get into it, but I know there was some upset community members of the way that things went down. I think the team is really starting to take that feedback and improve and do better. We're also in that market where a lot of interest is starting to come back. So I know that games like Illuvium, if they're taking that feedback and they're integrating them and improving it, that those individuals will see that they continue to burn, and they'll want to come and look at the new updates and the changes. They're going to get even more attention. And so I really give it to Illuvium for doing that. I'm really looking forward to getting to know the community members and also the team members. I don't think I can give any really constructive feedback because I think the game is well built. I just think I need to learn more about it and be able to know how to play. And so I'm gonna meet up with Scoriax and maybe get a little tip or two in order to be able to play better, so I don't have to be in last place every time I play. So that's my first goal. Don't come in last. Now, the fifth and last crypto game that I played over the last couple of weeks is Off the Grid. Off the Grid, I think, has the most daily active users of individuals coming in. I really think they've set the bar as far as it comes to integrating crypto into a game that just feels like a game. Now, a lot of people don't necessarily like the style of game, or some of the community members, and they feel like some of it is toxic. But there's others that are just really, really raving about how great of gameplay it is, the movement, kind of the skill gaps that you can find within it. And so I think Off the Grid still has set the bar as far as those daily active users of a well-built game that they're just constantly innovating on top of. I think I just saw recently they have now like the wall jumps that people are really enjoying, that's going to add to that movement ability to be able to jump off the walls and be able to escape and evade, as well as, hone in on getting that kill. Personally, myself, as someone who is probably more of a casual player than a hardcore gamer, the skill gap is definitely there. Individuals are able to move a lot better, get their aim in a lot better. They're able to utilize their loadouts a lot better. And so that skill gap is really there and noticeable. I still have an enjoyable time. I'm not necessarily one right now that are getting in. I'm trying to be competitive. I've got to win. I'm really going into experience and kind of see the differences between all of these different types of games. And I think the experience within Off the Grid is really cool. I really like their different features of their arms and their legs. I like the features of the weapons. I think they do an incredibly great job at their marketing and really meeting that demographic of individuals that play their game. So I think the team has done an incredible job of building a game that people want to come in and play, as well as market to those types of individuals, keep it competitive, keep innovating, do different types of skins and different types of assets that people really want to get their hands on. The Pioneer package of assets that people got are now trading at high dollar amounts on OpenSea, as well as their inner marketplace that they have. We can see that as you build a good game it opens up opportunities for people to be able to buy and sell their different assets and move us just one step closer. The off the grid community is also one that I haven't necessarily gone in and made myself known or gotten to know other individuals there. I know some key individuals that are doing an incredibly great job, and they're highly rated players that I've talked to. I just know that off the grid is definitely a game that is setting different standards, and they're kind of setting the bar that everyone is looking at and saying, is the game as good as off the grid? And it's really good to see the continual updates that they're giving out, as well as some of the collaborative play with OpenSea, as well as the consistent efforts that they're making in order to make the game feel fresh and new as they kind of adapt new features and try out new things and really try to engage with the community. As I dive a little bit deeper into the constant updates that they're giving and the changes they're making, I'll be able to provide better updates. I just wanted to get in here and review that. I know that Off the Grid is one of the best games out there right now. I thought it was really important to make sure that it was in this video. But there you have it. That is my Metaverse update. I really appreciate you guys watching this far, and if you have, make sure to make a comment below, like, and subscribe. I'll also leave my referral code for Zero down below. If you do use that referral code, it will automatically connect us, and I can help you on your journey and help you have a better understanding of how to navigate it. Also, if you're one of the die-hard members of any one of these communities, you'll be able to go in, create a group of your own, and be able to invite individuals from that community to be able to come in, and at the same time earn rewards for doing so. If you're interested in building one of these communities around these incredible metaverse platforms and these different crypto games, then make sure to use my referral code, connect with me, and I'll help you on that journey to make it possible.